This video is brought to you in association with Funded Today. Funded Today helps startups to succeed, especially in the fast-paced world of rewards-based crowdfunding. Its creative, marketing and consulting services can multiply your Kickstarter or Indiegogo pledges. All the links for Funded Today are in the video description below. Let's go. Let's get on with the show.
Hello again, Talk Funders. And here is the Talk Funding backstory of the Carnivore Bar with Philip. Hello again, my friend. And
hey, Alan.
Philip, I just want to bring the Talk Funders really just down, just below the campaign video to this one here, the Carnivore Bar 2, which is really about your story as much as it is about the Carnivore Bar. There's really so much in this story. I mean, maybe can we just talk through the first paragraph or so, Philip, to start with?
Sure. So my background is I was a combat medic and I served in Afghanistan, and it was really hard to get high quality food there. So a lot of the food we had was junk food, and it didn't make me feel good. We were there for a year. So I was like, well, here's a problem that I can solve. And, I set about solving it.
And then the journey that in the video you brought up about modern expectations, I think are beginning to change regarding food, about what people are eating, etc. Okay, and one sense you're beginning to address that, where you're mentioning like the big food companies are just not addressing this sort of trend that's growing in society.
Yeah, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say that we're getting sicker and sicker. We're getting unhealthy by our modern food choices. What we call food today is really just it's not suitable for long-term consumption. Be fine for a treat, but like day in, day out, a lot of us are eating junk that's convenient. And so for me, I felt like really holding me back from, the jobs I wanted to do. I liked being a medic. I thought about being a paramedic. I liked the outdoors and exploring. And it's like, well, what do I bring with me, to maintain this newfound health? I started my health journey in 2018 and kind of on this carnivore experiment. And I was like, wow, I never ever want to give this up. How do I keep this? And it's like, my obstacle became my path. It's like the convenient food I needed with the ancestral ingredients, it's like, it didn't exist. So it's like, okay, well, this thing that is stopping me, maybe my calling, maybe the thing that I need to devote myself to solving this problem. And maybe that's my career forward. And so 2019, I launched, I never looked back. It's been a roller coaster, but decidedly a good one. And thanks to the backers, I've had the privilege of providing the Carnivore Bar for many people in the same situation as me.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful because also in the campaign video you're talking about they're going back to you have to help me how to pronounce that again. It's satiating,
satiating
the taste, etc. And you were also beginning this health journey in 2018. You were looking for your own personal life, in your kitchen, which is the origin story of the Carnivore Bar, which I love because it starts in your home, in your kitchen, going, I want to be putting good food inside my body. And as you say, you began your journey of health in 2018, but you really also wanted to contribute and create value for others so that everybody else can have really good performance and have healthy food. And the success of that really evolved into the success of your first Kickstarter campaign in 2019, whereas you say you launched a food company. Philip, not everybody launches a company, let alone a food company, so fair play to you. And now it has really grown, and as you were saying, recognizing the sufferings of others over the last year regarding the pandemic, etc. You really seen there was a much bigger demand for your product as people began to, again, this idea of health and food security. It really grew exponentially, and you sold three times in 2020. Your whole production line just sold out. And the other aspect, which I thought was really interesting, is because of this ongoing engagement. I think one of the lovely things about this backstory, which is coming through all the interviews, is your engagement with your community. You know, who's coming along, probably coming through the first Kickstarter, now is coming into the second Kickstarter. So you have a loyal, very loyal fan base, you know?
Yeah, and that's been key, is listening to their input and hearing what they want. We have soldiers, we have nurses, people in these high stress jobs and positions that don't have a lot of time to food prep and prepare, or they're beleaguered and tired. You know, they maybe could, but they want convenient food. They don't want to sacrifice their health, and that's a niche that's just really been abandoned. You know, it's expensive to make things out of high quality ingredients. It's expensive to make them carefully over many, many days, instead of just, you know, making a million an hour, you know, and in one of these giant consolidated factories. It's like doing things the right way that's going to make your body feel good and be convenient is really, you know, in that neglected space. And so that was my opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that's wonderful, as you say, in the message of this Kickstarter campaign is, you know, 2018 you began your own journey in your kitchen. 2019 is the first successful Kickstarter campaign. Now this one is expansion again. It's 2021. You're expanding in the new facility, as you call it, your dream facility. And then my dream is like to continue this journey, to offer the Carnivore Bar to anyone who wants it, to have enough manufacturing capacity that I can meet the demand, and also to give it at an affordable price. I think that the idea of people using this to go and take their dreams where, you know, their lives are calling them, and to be able to support other people in the pursuit of their dreams, their adventures, you know, their exploration away from their kitchen, but still able to have healthy food, you know, that would be a dream come true. If I could use this facility to be able to meet those challenges and offer this at an affordable price that's sustainable. Yeah, I just love that in the line you say, you know, the idea of the journey, you know, the individual journey of the people who are eating your lovely bars is everywhere the blue sky touches, let it be your kingdom. You know, that's lovely. So in one sense, you're wanting to create value by supporting other people to eat healthier, so they have much better performance, and you're really supporting their fulfillment of their own dreams, which is lovely.
Yeah. At the risk of going on too much of a tangent, that's actually Mongolian philosophy.
Oh, is it really? Oh, please go on a tangent. I'm dying to hear.
So when I was a child, I was a missionary kid in Mongolia during the 90s, right after the fall of the Iron Curtain. You know, I didn't have much to do with it, but you know, I was an observer, and it was a fascinating deep dive into you know, an ancient people, and they ate a high fat diet, and we all thought they were silly. We had our margarine, and we knew better, and it's this ancestral culture that I was exposed to at an early age, and they loved high fat foods. And, you know, we were like, that's, you know, we were so self-assured. And it's actually Genghis Khan's, you know, part of his philosophy, part of their flag is like, they believed their empire was where the blue sky touched. And I just like, what a beautiful metaphor. You know, scary when a warlord says it, but also kind of manifest destiny, expansive, you know, this, you know, it's this narrative of infinite gain, like, you know, not an I gain, you lose, a win-lose, but a win-win, you know, like we can support each other and both win. It's this idea of no limits. And so it's really great to think of the horizon as not being a limit, because the blue sky is the entirety of the thing. And so together we can achieve more than we could ever dream.
Wow, that's wonderful, Philip. Thank you very much for transporting us all over to Mongolia for that time. I'm dreaming of yurts and plains, a sea of plains of grass. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that. So
Absolutely.
everywhere the blue sky touches, let it be your kingdom is just wonderful. And just going back, just to finish off the backstory and just what you were saying there about really wanting to support people who are looking to really look after their health, who live demanding lifestyles, who really into performance. There's two pledges which really stand out, and it's your commitment to supporting your community. And as you said, there's some of the pledges from the first campaign you've carried over, and these are two of them here. First of all, there's for anybody who pledges over $1,000, there's the Carnivore VIP. And then secondly, there's anyone who pledges over $5,000, there's the Carnivore for Life. Could you maybe just start, there's 10 of these Carnivore VIPs. Could you just do a little bit of fill that out basically and talk a bit about that, please?
Sure. So, with the first launch, we didn't have a facility. We didn't have any equipment. I had to basically say, well, this is a concept, and here is a prototype I made in my kitchen. And I actually didn't even have a wrapper. I went to FedEx and I printed out a piece of paper with the logo on it and stuck the bar out of the piece of paper. It was just shiny paper. It wasn't a wrapper. And so it's like, I was trying everything I could to get, people to back the concept, to back the idea so that I could make, so I could actually make the real thing. And, I said, well, if you give me $1,000 now, I will give you a year subscription of the bars. And if you give me $5,000 now, I'll give you at cost bars for life. So both of those perks, the Carnivore VIP and Carnivore for Life, include a year subscription and also the discount. And so we didn't increase the number from the first campaign. We had 10 of the 5,000 and 20 of the 1,000 that we could afford because, we can't sell the bar at cost for everyone. But for 10 people, we were like, well, that ratio, that works. So this is the opportunity for people who have fallen in love with the Carnivore Bar and who make these big orders to be able to do so more affordably by backing us right now when we really need that funding for equipment. And then we can support them, for the rest of their lives with more affordable, better access to these bars.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at the Carnivore for Life. You've carried over 7 from the first Kickstarter campaign, so that's quite limited. So it's a lucky 7 who gets to that one. And to the Carnivore VIP, which is for the $1,000, you've brought over 10 for that.
Yeah. And as the Carnivore for Life, as our cost to make the bar decreases with volume, that cost to that consumer will also decrease over time. First we were losing money. So the Carnivore Bar at cost was not helpful. But, as months went on, we started breaking even, and now we have a little bit of a profit margin. So, we're trying to keep going further, to be a self-sustaining business. But, we have super fans who order like 11 boxes every single month. If you do the math, it's like if that person gave us 5,000 up front, they would save tens of thousands of dollars every single year, throughout the longevity of their patronage. So if you like the Carnivore Bar and you supported us in the first one, this is your chance. If you still want it, we will never offer this again. Long term, it doesn't make sense, but during these times where we need that capital, especially time sensitive right now, it makes sense to offer that for our fans.
You're very much fair play into the win-win, and in one sense it's a win-win-win because you're winning for the environment as well. I mean, that really felt what you were just saying there is like this Carnivore Bar for Life in particular is like, as you said, your bigger dream, once you got this Kickstarter to fulfill your dream facilities built, then the next one is really to make the the bar scalable so that it becomes affordable, and much more people can get access to this bar. So that means these guys, their lifetime discount at cost is really, really attractive.
Yeah, that's the hope. And now that we're an established company and we've set the bar for this campaign pretty low at $10,000, we are asking for what people want to get. The goal is not the aim anymore. The aim is we are expanding, we're inviting input. We want to listen to our backers and our community, and so we're inviting them to come with us. We don't need a certain amount of money. We want the partnership. We want the relationship.
Fantastic. And as you already said, you have a number of, good number of super fans, which you've talked about off camera as well as here during the interview, which is testimony to the quality of your product, and again your commitment to that community as well, to keep getting the feedback. And that's why you've got the 2 extra new flavors are coming through with the honey one and the high protein one.
Exactly.
Which is fantastic. Great. Well, I must admit, Philip, it's been a lovely journey going through these interviews with you today. So I'd just like to say thank you very much, Philip, of the Carnivore Bar, who are live on Kickstarter from May 25th. All the links for the campaign will be in the video description below. Thank you so much, my friend.